Hajj and its importance to Muslims. Hajj is a once in a lifetime pilgrimage of Muslims to Mecca. It is in Saudi Arabia, in the Middle East in Asia. Hajj should be performed at least once in the Muslim's lifetime. For Muslims, the Hajj is the fifth and the final pillar of Islam. It occurs in the month of Dhul Hijjah, which is the 12th month of Islamic calendar. The Hajj makes Muslims feel the real importance of life here on earth and the afterlife and shows the real meaning of life. During the Hajj, the pilgrims perform acts of worship and ask forgiveness. The Kaaba plays a big part in the Hajj. It is the center because Muslims go around it 7 times. Ibrahim and his son Ismail built the Kaaba. The Hajj makes Muslims feel the real importance of life here on earth and the afterlife and shows the real meaning of life. During the Hajj, the pilgrims perform acts of worship and ask forgiveness. The Kaaba plays a big part in the Hajj. One of the reasons is that Hajj is the fifth pillar of Islam and it is a compulsory duty upon a Muslim. It is done to show true faith and belief of Islam. The pilgrimage occurs from the 8th to 12th or some cases 13th of Dhul Hijjah, the last month of Islamic calendar. The Hajj is associated with the life of Islamic Prophet Muhammad from the 7th century, but the ritual of pilgrimage to Mecca is considered by Muslims to stretch back thousands of years to the time of Abraham. During the Hajj, pilgrims join processions of hundreds of thousands of During Hajj, pilgrims join processions of hundreds of thousands of people who converge on Makkah for the week of the Hajj and perform a series of rituals. Each person walks counterclockwise 7 times around the Kaaba. In 2017, the number of pilgrims coming from outside the Saudi Arabia to perform Hajj was officially reported as 70,52,014 Saudi Arabian residents, bringing the total number of pilgrims to 23,52,122. But at present, in June 2020, while not cancelling the Hajj outright, the Saudi government announced that they would only welcome very limited numbers of pilgrims. So what is the reason? Now, the world is facing the corona and the world is going to the bad situation. So that's why the Saudi government announced that they would only welcome very limited numbers of pilgrims. We are going to say about the sanctified places at the period of Hajj, like Zamzam, like Hajarul Aswad, the black stone, like the Ihram, such like that. The first one of them is Ihram. Ihram in Islam is a sacred state which a Muslim must enter in order to perform the major pilgrimage or minor pilgrimage, that means Hajj or Umrah. A pilgrim must enter into the state before crossing the pilgrimage boundary, known as Miqat. A man in the state of Ihram must not tie any knots or wear any stitched items. Sandals and flip-flops must not be stitched either and should allow the ankle and back of foot to be exposed. In the state of Ihram, a Muslim must not use any scent on the body or on the robes. If the robe has been fouled by najas, that means dirty. At Ihram, women must have their faces uncovered. They are forbidden to wear burqa. However, the hijab is obligatory. There is also no gender segregation during the Hajj. Unlike in mosques, men and women pray together, not just in the same area but also on the same prayer line. The second one of them is tawaf, is meaning going about. It is the one of the Islamic rituals of pilgrimage in Mecca. During the Hajj and Umrah, Muslims are to go around the Kaaba, the most sacred site in Islam, 7 times. in a counterclockwise direction. The first three phase circuits at a hurried pace on the outer part of the crowd, followed by 4 times closer to the Kaaba at a leisurely pace. The circling is believed to demonstrate the unity of the believers in the worship of one God as they move in harmony together around the Kaaba while supplicating to God. The circle begins from the black stone, that means Hajarul Aswad, on the corner of the Kaaba. If possible, Muslims are to kiss or touch it, but this is often not possible because of the large crowds. So it is acceptable for them to simply point or hold up their hand to the stone on each circuit. Muslims are generally advised to make tawaf at least twice, once a part of Hajj and again their final leaving Mecca. Say about the black stone. The black stone, which is set in the eastern corner of the Kaaba. Tawaf begins and ends facing this sacred stone. Throughout the ages, countless people, including many of the prophets, the Prophet Muhammad himself, the Sahaba, pious personalities, and millions of Muslims who have performed Hajj, placed their blessed lips on it. Ibn Abbas narrated that the Prophet said, "The black stone came down from the paradise and it was whiter than milk, but the sins of sons of Adam turned it black." Duas are accepted at the Hajar al-Aswad, and on the day of judgment it will testify in favor of all those who kissed it. The Prophet Muhammad said, "By Allah, on the day of Qiyamah, Allah will present the Hajar al-Aswad in such a manner that it will have 2 eyes and a tongue to testify to the Iman, faith, of all those who kissed it." The day of repentance and acceptance of supplications. It is the day of Arafah. It is the next one. It is an Islamic holiday that falls on the 9th day of Dhul Hijj of the lunar Islamic calendar. It is the second day of the Hajj pilgrimage, and the day after is the first day of major Islamic holiday of Eid al-Adha. At dawn of this day, Muslim pilgrims will make their way from the Mina to a nearby hillside and plain called Mount Arafah and plain of Arafah. It was from the site that Muhammad gave one of his last famous sermons in the final year of his life. Muslims hold that part of the Quranic verse announcing that the religion of Islam had been perfected was revealed on the day. Mina, also known as the Tent City, is a neighborhood of Mecca in western Saudi Arabia. It is situated 5 kilometers, that means 3.1 miles to the east of the city of Mecca, and stands on the road from Mecca city center to the hill of Arafah. It covers an area of approximately 20 kilometers. In the valley of Mina, there is Jamra Bridge, the location of the ritual of stoning of the devil performed between sunrise and sunset on the last day of Hajj. Mina is the place where pilgrims throw stones commemorating the occasion, and the Prophet Ibrahim ﷺ stoned the devil that came between him and the command Allah had set to him. Many pilgrims at Hajj walk around the Kaaba 7 times, then visit the well of Zamzam. Usually they spend their first night in the valley of Mina. This ritual occurs from the 8th to the 12th day of Hajj. Mina is neighborhood for Makkah. Only Muslims and non-Muslims were allowed. The qualities and the features of the Hajj and the sanctified places. So everyone, Hajj is an obligatory deed for all Muslims who can. So everyone prayer for reaching at the Makkah and doing the Hajj. May Allah forgive everyone and prayer for get a chance for visiting the Hajj.